Hello everyone, welcome to this video, and today we have a sub request by Flappy for the Ki-84 Co. This is a plane I haven't actually dragged out for quite a while now because I don't really need to fly it anymore, because the last time I did fly this thing was to unlock the brown camouflage. Now Flappy did ask me to put the brown camouflage on, and to be honest, I think this plane looks better in it. You might disagree, but personally, I actually prefer the brown on this compared to the green. The green just doesn't suit it. It's like the Chinese Ki-84, which unfortunately I don't have, but Harry does. I think it looks better in the brown. Like, this obviously is the default camo for it, but I think it looks better in brown, this aircraft. But, you know, that's just what I think anyway. So the Ki-84 we have covered on the channel before. We have talked about it in a video where I accidentally ripped a landing gear off it. It was a replay, of course, and I still managed to get, I think, 7 or 8 kills, and it's still pretty good. Like, the aircraft hasn't really had anything that really remotely shuts it down. The cannons are a bit crap still, which is to be expected. The machine guns have taken a slight nerf, but that's to be expected. And still, it's still got pretty good performance in terms of its overall capabilities. I mean, it's still got decent engine power, it's still got decent performance, and it's arguably one of the better Japanese props that you can get access to around this BR. Of course, against 6.3s like the P-51H, that is going to be a toughie if we run into those. And of course, things like the Tiger Cat, which get an air spawn, they can be a bit of a nightmare if they manage to get above us, which they probably will. But this aircraft's climb rate, its speed, its dive, and its overall handling should be enough to deal with pretty much anything we come across. But of course, the belts I'm going to be running are of course subject to change, because obviously Gaijin does do nerfs nowadays. Universal on my ping seems to be the best. It may not work for you on yours. As for the 12.7s, excuse me, I tend to run air targets. You get a good mix of everything. You get the immediate action incendiary, which basically functions like a baby HE round. And then, of course, you get the HEF round, which is pretty good and is still pretty strong. And then, of course, you get some AP ammo as well, which helps out. Of course, the Ki-84 can carry a couple of bombs, but it's very unlikely we're going to be using these because we're most likely just going to stick to air superiority. And anything in terms of ground targets, this thing can mostly kill. And if we need the bombs, we'll do that accordingly. So, without further ado, let's get into the battle and let's get cracking with this thing. All I will say is, it is an aircraft that is still very good, but of course the 6.3s can be a major problem, especially the US. So I'm hoping we get paired with the US. But we'll just have to find out, because Gaijin likes to, shall we say, mess around with the old matchmaker. Anywho, I was literally just about to say it, and Gaijin decided, you know what, let's chuck him in a match before I can say it. Give a big fat middle finger. And we get Road to Grozny. This isn't a map I like. I don't particularly like this one in a dedicated air superiority fighter, because the ground targets, if you need to do them, can be a bit of a pain in the arse, and yeah. So normally I would go minimum fuel, but this map's quite big, so I'm going to take 20, because, well, I prefer having a bit of extra fuel just in case. Normally I would take minimum fuel, but obviously this map is rather large and I'd rather not risk it, you know. And it looks like this is a 5-7 match. Yes. Yes it is. Okay, that's not bad for this thing. I actually like a 5-7 match. So, I haven't actually been playing too much War Thunder recently. I've been taking a bit of a break from the game. I've been just relaxing in my own time, because obviously I've been working mostly, because we've had staff, well, I say staff. Our store manager left about a month or 2 ago, and since then we haven't had anyone who's technically in charge of the store. We just had someone who's sort of stepped up to be in charge of the store and all that jazz. And then, of course, yesterday, as I record this, we had another staff member who was brought in due to a complaint, which I made a statement about, because he was an arsehole. There's no polite way of putting it. And, yeah, I've had to be doing mostly nearly 40-hour weeks, and well, starting this week as I record, is another 40-hour week. So I don't really get much time to A, play War Thunder, and B, relax. So I've just been focusing more on relaxing than I have playing video games in a minute. I have recently got back into GTA 5 though, so that's one thing I do like. Anywho, it's going to take us a few minutes to get into the match. I will see you all shortly. Well, welcome back. We've accelerated a few minutes ahead now. Gotten some altitude, as you do, keeping an eye out around myself and all that, as you usually do. And we've so far not really had anything to write home about. We've just found a yak up here, and there's a P-38 to my left. Yes, mate, I'm coming. Maybe if you didn't try and turn fight at 190, this wouldn't be happening, would it? Now, let's see how bad my aim is after about a week of not playing. And the answer is... god-awful. I can hear a P-38 roaring in behind me, so I need to be careful. It's not a P-38, it's a fucking Yak 3. This had better be worth it, buddy, because I don't normally do this for people, because half the time teammates are not to be relied upon. There we go, he's gone.
Thank you very much.
And here comes trouble in the form of a Yak 3. Let's see if I can force him to rip.
Thanks.
Yeah, stop spamming and give me a fucking hand. Yeah, my aim was awful there, I will admit. But like I say, I've not played in about a week and a half, 2 weeks nearly. So yeah, I just haven't really been playing, as I say. There we go, that's that one removed. Here comes the P-38, so let's break left and go for the LA-7, because I know how good an LA-7 is in good hands. Got a crit, that's good. Where's P-38? He's there. We're just going to fire the 50s here, I want to save some ammo. Thank you, buddy. I don't know who that was, it was the A8, who I helped earlier, so he's actually helping me. See? Sometimes teamwork can make the dream work, but don't rely on it. Just don't. So the 190 is... well, he's got a very itchy trigger finger, I will say. But so far this enemy team has pretty much collapsed. There's only 3 players left, and 2 of them are off my nose. That P-38 I don't think can outrun the 190, so I think he's done for. And he's definitely not outrunning that second one. There we go. That's that done.
Returning to the airfield.
Alright, let's get up some ground targets. But like I said, that this plane, even with my god-awful aim, because like I say, I've not played in a while and the caffeine's not kicked in, it's still pretty strong, like, no doubt about it. It's a plane that just handles really, really well. Like, it can handle itself in most situations pretty well. It's just sometimes when your guns are, I mean, they're sparking there, but when the guns are a bit inconsistent, which they can be, plus the fact that my aim was crap, it can be a little bit annoying flying a plane like this. But even then, like, we're up to 2 kills, 4 ground targets, 1 assist. I mean, that's not bad, and I'm not expecting to get amazing runs because, well, we're facing USA teams. What do you expect? But, like, we've gotten pretty much everything that we wanted to do. We've had some funny moments in the form of my crap aim, and yeah, we're just enjoying ourselves. Like, we're just having a pleasant time. We're not really worrying about anything that's going on. The match is going pretty smoothly, and yeah, it's nothing to really write home about. It's just day in the life of a Ki-84, really. Alright, so we're low on ammo, and the last guy is at his airfield, so he's probably going to camp, which is fine. So I'm going to try and farm up a couple of bots, I think. You can see what I mean about the real shadow, can't you? That was the 20 mils only. And it looks like Mr. Yak 3 is not checking his rearview mirror because he's not seen the Wunderwaffen behind him. I think the 190 is just compressed, which I don't know how you do that, but yeah, he just died to AA. Okay. Looks like the Yak 3 is camping, so I'll just clean up this bot and then I'll go back to base for some bullets and probably some bombs. Because, well, I noticed that my daily was a base kill, and if we're quick enough, we might be able to beat the 264 to it. So there goes that bot. That is all the bots removed, because the team has already done the rest. I'm going to go back to base and grab myself some bullets and some bombs, and I will see you all shortly. Well, you join me back a few minutes later. As per usual, the last guy checking his player card, of course, is a runway camping dirtbag. He has a 49% win rate in a Yak 3 VK107 and doesn't even have a 1-to-1 in it. He has a minus 1.5 kill to death ratio in it. However, we actually get to meme around for once because we're going to kill a base in a Ki-84, kind of. Because, well, why the hell not? It's for memes. I don't even think that's going to do it because I missed the bomb. Oh no, it did. I forgot these drop single now. But there you go. I've just killed a... I say killed a base. I've just assisted in killing a base with a Ki-84. That's one for the... that's one for the calendar, I think. But yeah, my entire team is just butchering ground targets right now. His tickets are just bleeding out. And he's just being a dirtbag, camping his runway and using the AA to his advantage because he's a piece of shit. So, yeah. That's what these players do. They just sit there and just do nothing and they just camp their runway. But yeah, 49% win rate. That's all I need to say. He's god-awful. But there we go. We've base bombed in a Ki-84 and we've helped our team win the match. So that's the important part. Whilst we didn't exactly get the greatest number of kills, the fact that we can claim we've killed a base in a Ki-84 is already enough for one day. And if you want to see the guy's player card, here you go. See what I mean? It's just terrible all around. You'd think having this much flight experience in Russian aircraft, specifically Yaks, would actually benefit him with some skill, but no. He's not even got a 1-to-1 in Herman, which that just tells you everything. And, well, here he's going to be screaming at these two internally at just that alone. But yeah, in conclusion, the Ki-84 Co is still a pretty strong aircraft. And heck, you can even meme around with the damn thing. It's that easy to fly these days. Like I said, the Yak 3 is probably one of the more annoying targets to deal with. And combine that with crap aim, it's not exactly easy. But, you know, it's something that you can just go, oh, I could just take this out for a bit of fun, should be easy with the teams, and it generally is. And, well, if you get paired with the US, expect to have a trouble time, but, well, you can always just bring someone along who flies something like the Germans, and you generally don't get paired with the US that way. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed seeing today's video on the Ki-84. Of course, there will be another sub request later, which will probably be well, I think it's the LE7 next. So yeah, we're going to be jumping to technically the other side because we're going to be flying an LE7, and well, you'll see that later. Anyway, I'll leave you all to it for today, and I'll see you all on the next one.